Hello and welcome to the Florida Man Podcast. I'm Ghost.
I'm Ash.
And this is the podcast where we read to you Florida Man headlines. So let's get started. Hello and welcome back to the Florida Man Podcast. So today, for January 3rd, we have for you 5 headlines today. So it's a little bit more busier than our other episodes. So for the first one, we have 74-year-old Florida man on an electric scooter threatened and chased 2 people with a knife. So this comes out of Bradford County. So a 74-year-old man is accused of chasing 2 people with a knife while riding an electric scooter, according to the Rockledge Police Department. During a verbal disagreement, Daniel Zarelli retrieved an 8-inch blade from a drawer in his home and actively followed a woman throughout the residence in his scooter Monday evening, according to an arrest affidavit. Zarelli's alleged statement of wanting to kill the woman prompted her to run from the residence, police said. Police said that Zarelli then targeted a man outside of the home, chasing him around a car, which was a rental signed in the man's name, and down the street while still holding the knife. Zarelli slashed the car's left rear tire with willful and malicious intent, causing approximately $500 in damage. When the officers arrived, they said Zarelli was seen still holding the knife and actively following the woman up the driveway of the residence. Upon speaking with him, officers reported smelling alcohol on Zarelli's breath, as well as hearing Zarelli spontaneously utter that he wanted to stab the man he was chasing while he had the chance, according to their affidavit. Zarelli was booked at the Bradford County Jail on multiple charges, including 2 instances of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, which are both felonies. Police also said Zarelli was on felony probation during the incident. He's being held on $26,000 bond and is expected to make his first appearance in court February 1st.
I have no words.
Yeah.
Is he on a mobility scooter?
Yes.
Oh.
That, I would love to see the Ring cameras that recorded all this.
I swear to God, dude. Okay. So, second one. A bloody, intoxicated Florida man found passed out on top of Uber driver. Driver says suspect sucker punched him, climbed into driver's seat. A Volusia County deputy encountered an unusual scene on New Year's Day when he found a 260-pound intoxicated man lying on top of his 77-year-old Uber driver. Both in the driver's seat of a minivan, body camera video released by the sheriff's office showed. The deputy was flagged down at 12:43 p.m. by a driver on North Kepler Road who said there were 2 men who were involved in a fight in a Honda minivan up the road. When the deputy arrived, he found the driver's side door open with 2 sets of legs sticking out toward the road. The deputy said he found Michael Gerard, 48, face down on top of the 77-year-old Uber driver. Both the victim and the suspect had bloody faces, according to the report. Quote, help me, please, get him off of me," the driver can be heard saying in the deputy's body camera video. The victim later told deputies he is an Uber driver and he was called to pick up Gerard on North Kentucky Avenue in Deland. After he turned onto North Kepler Road, Gerard asked him to stop. When the driver pulled over, he said Gerard reached up and sucker punched him in the face, according to the authorities. Gerard then attempted to climb from the rear passenger seat toward the driver's seat, according to the victim's account. A struggle ensued between the driver and Gerard, and both men punched each other, according to the arrest report. When the deputy arrived, he pulled Gerard off the victim. The deputy attempted to put Gerard into the back of his patrol car. However, video of the encounter shows Gerard slurring his words and resisting the deputy's commands while repeatedly saying, "I am complying." "But why are you stopping me and why are you restraining me this way?" Gerard says. "Because you're on top of some man, you're both covered in blood," the deputy replies. "No, you will not tell me why," Gerard says. "I just told you why," the deputy says. The deputy led the stumbling and slurring Gerard to the patrol car and attempted to put him in the back of the car, but Gerard refused to get into the cruiser. "You're under arrest, by the way," the deputy told Gerard. "For what?" Gerard says. Another deputy arrived, and the 2 deputies attempted to shove the man into the car belly first. Gerard said he was dying, closed his eyes, and fell face first into the back seat, according to the report. The encounter left the deputy and his patrol car smeared with the suspect's blood and snot. The video ends with Gerard sitting on the ground, crying and yelling, "The police is corrupt." According to the arrest report, Gerard was taken to the hospital where he also assaulted a nurse. Girard is charged with battery on a person 65 years or older, battery on law enforcement, criminal mischief, assault on a law enforcement officer, and assault on a medical care provider. Girard also earned the title of Sheriff Mike Chitwood's first Scumbag of the Week for 2020. But our first Scumbag of the Week of 2020 is this nightmare New Year's Day Uber rider who decided to sucker punch and attack his 77-year-old driver who was just trying to do his job, the sheriff said in a tweet. Thankfully, someone flagged down Deputy Barry to help.
Man, people are crazy. So for our next headline, we have Florida man arrested at Mar-a-Lago says he came out to talk to Trump about his $6.3 trillion. And this happened in, obviously, Palm Beach, Florida, which, by the way, was where I was born. A Florida man was arrested after he drove up to President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort, told a Secret Service agent he was there to talk to the president about his $6.3 trillion and refused to leave, police said. Brian Whitehurst, 30, of Lake Wells, was arrested Sunday on a trespassing charge. According to a Palm Beach police report, Whitehurst parked in the service entrance area of the Mar-a-Lago club, told Secret Service agent Tim Donahue he needed to talk to the president about his $6.3 trillion and said he had a reservation to stay the night at the resort. Donahue told Whitehurst he didn't have a reservation and would have to leave, but Whitehurst refused and said he'd have to be arrested, police said. So that's what they did. Whitehurst was arrested on the misdemeanor charge and released on his own recognizance. His arraignment was set for January 22nd in a Palm Beach County courtroom. Trump was expected to spend the Christmas holiday at Palm Beach, but he stayed in Washington because of the government shutdown.
Also in Palm Beach, man who authorities said drove a Ferrari off a dock into the Palm Beach inlet last month has been identified. According to a traffic crash report, 48-year-old James Mucasio Jr. deliberately drove off the end of a dock at top speed on December 26th around 7 a.m. Palm Beach Fire Rescue said the vehicle floated for approximately 50 feet before sinking to the bottom of the inlet. Divers used airbags to float the Ferrari to the surface, then brought it back to shore. Pictures from Code 3 divers show the Ferrari at the bottom of the inlet and divers working to recover it. Fire rescue officials said James was not hurt and alcohol and drugs were not a factor, according to a crash report.
Man, I wish I had so much money I could just drive a Ferrari at full speed off of a dock.
Yeah, me too, dude.
So, for our final headline for the day, Florida dad thrown from truck as he tried to stop carjacking with kids inside. And this comes out of CBS Miami. A Florida man is recovering from a head injury that he suffered while trying to stop a carjacker from taking his truck with his children inside. It was a carjacking and a kidnapping. Those kids were in the back seat, said Indian River County Sheriff's Office Major Eric Flowers. The dashcam video from a police cruiser captures the moment when a stolen truck is seen speeding and swerving down a wooded drive. Police said 34-year-old Fabian Leon was behind the wheel. At one point, a gentleman was pulling into and attempting to back in a trailer as he stepped out of his vehicle while leaving the door open. Mr. Leon jumped into the vehicle and took off. He stole the vehicle, Flowers said. Also inside that vehicle, 2 frightened little girls, ages 3 and 12. It's difficult to see, but their father desperately tries to stop the carjacking and gets dragged along by the suspect. Deputy Teddy Floyd was in the area delivering Christmas toys to families. He can be seen later in the video wearing a Santa hat and barely avoiding a head-on collision by swerving into the trees. The father was thrown from the vehicle, and the vehicle crashed into a tree. He either had to crash into Deputy Floyd or crash into the tree, and he chose the tree, Flowers said. Authorities say the father suffered a brain bleed when he was thrown from the truck, but that didn't stop him from grabbing up his 3-year-old as soon as they were out of the vehicle. As a father, I absolutely understand and would totally do the same thing, jumping on a vehicle, saying, "No, don't take my kids." It's just unbelievable. As for the suspect, the video shows him cornered, tased, and arrested. This is such an unusual case. It isn't something like we've seen before, 2 days before Christmas, added Flowers. The suspect has now been charged with kidnapping, carjacking, and assaulting a police officer. So these were your headlines for today. Join us back tomorrow for some more crazy Florida man headlines. Thanks for listening.
Links on where to find us will be in the show notes.
And join us tomorrow for more news on the Florida Man.